SIT has helped lots of otirpiopeli. Faith is the foundation of everything that connects us to divine favor. Without faith, we live our days depending only on what we can see, touch, and control. And that's where most people lose the deeper meaning of life. As well as it has helped lots of otirpiopeli. Faith is not about ignoring reality. It's about trusting that there is a higher reality working behind what you can see. It's believing that God's plan is still good even when your situation doesn't look good. It's choosing to believe that there's purpose behind every challenge and power behind every delay. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where divine favor wants to take you. And the moment you start walking on that bridge, everything about your life begins to shift. Many people think faith is a feeling, but it's not. Faith doesn't always feel powerful, certain, or strong. Sometimes faith is quiet. Sometimes faith is trembling but still moving forward. It's waking up in the morning with tears in your eyes and still saying, God, I trust you. It's standing in the middle of the storm and choosing not to run away. Faith doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means that fear no longer controls your decisions. When you act on faith, you give heaven permission to move in your life. You align yourself with divine timing instead of human pressure. You stop forcing outcomes and start flowing with grace. Every great story of transformation begins with faith. The people who unlock God's favor are not always the most talented, the richest, or the most powerful. They're the ones who believe when others stop. They keep walking when others stop. They keep trusting when others give up. And every time they do, divine favor steps in to open doors that no human could have opened for them. Faith turns impossibilities into testimonies. It turns ordinary lives into living miracles. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to have faith strong enough to take the next step. Because faith doesn't demand that you see the entire path. It just asks you to take the first step in trust. When your faith becomes the center of your life, you begin to live differently. You no longer depend on luck or coincidence. You depend on divine alignment. You stop chasing approval from people and start listening to the quiet voice inside that says, keep believing. That's when favor starts to show up in unexpected ways. The right people begin to notice you. The right opportunities start appearing. The situations that once caused you pain begin to reveal their hidden blessings. Faith becomes a magnet for favor because faith pleases God. And when your faith pleases, He moves heaven and earth to position you where you need to be. But faith also requires patience. You can't rush divine timing. You may plant the seed today and see nothing for a while, but that doesn't mean the seed isn't growing. Faith teaches you to wait without complaining, to trust without proof, and to believe without evidence. It's not easy. But it's always worth it. When your faith matures, you stop panicking over delays because you understand that waiting seasons are often working seasons. Behind every moment of silence, God is preparing something significant. He is shaping you for the favor that's coming so that when it arrives, you'll be ready to handle it. Faith is the foundation that makes you unshakable. Life will test you. It will challenge everything you believe. There will be moments when nothing makes sense, when prayers seem unanswered, and when the path feels dark. But that's when your faith must speak louder than your circumstances. Declare what you believe even when you don't see it. Speak life when everything feels lifeless. Thank God in advance for what you've asked for, because that's what faith does. It celebrates before the victory arrives. If you want to unlock God's favor in your life, start by strengthening your faith. Protect it, feed it, guard it from negativity and doubt. Faith grows when you hear words of truth, when you reflect on past blessings, and when you choose to see every day as a new opportunity for grace. Your faith doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. Even a small seed of faith can move mountains if you refuse to give up. So today, choose faith over fear, trust over control, and hope over despair. Believe that what's ahead is greater than what's behind you. Faith is not just a belief, it's a lifestyle of surrender and expectation. And when you live by faith, you position yourself under a flow of divine favor that never runs dry. The moment you decide to believe, heaven begins to respond. Obedience opens that faith alone cannot. It's one thing to believe, but it's another thing to act according to that belief. Many people pray for divine favor, yet they ignore the quiet instructions that lead them to it. Obedience is not always easy because it often asks you to do what doesn't make sense. It may ask you to forgive someone who hurt you, to let go of something you wanted to control. SIT has helped loto asharpiopeli, or to take a step toward a dream that looks impossible. But every time you obey that inner voice, you align yourself with a divine pattern that moves you toward blessing. Obedience is faith in motion. It's the physical expression of trust. When you obey without hesitation, you show that you are not just believing in God's promise, but you are ready to participate in it. Obedience often begins with small things. It's the choice to speak kindly when you could respond with anger. It's deciding to stay honest when dishonesty seems easier. It's doing what is right when no one is watching. These small acts of obedience create spiritual momentum. Each one builds a layer of strength, character, and maturity that prepares you for greater responsibility. Favor cannot rest on someone who is careless with integrity. Divine opportunities require hearts that are consistent, humble, and trustworthy. When you prove faithful in little things, heaven knows it can trust you with bigger ones. Sometimes obedience will make you feel uncomfortable. It might require you to walk away from people or environments that no longer serve your growth. It might pull you out of your comfort zone and push you towards something uncertain. But discomfort is often the sign that you're being stretched for something greater. The path of obedience is rarely the easiest road, but is always the most fruitful. When you obey even when it's hard, you demonstrate that your loyalty is not to your emotions, but to your purpose. Divine favor responds to that kind of commitment. It recognizes the soul that says, even if I don't understand, I'll still follow. There are moments when obedience will cost you something valuable, time, pride, security, or even relationships, but it will never leave you empty. Every sacrifice made in obedience is an investment into a future of abundance. God never asks for something unless he plans to replace it with something better. The challenge is that you don't always see the replacement right away. There's a gap between obedience and reward, and that's where your patience is tested. But in that gap, transformation happens. Your heart becomes stronger, your faith deepens, and your spirit learns to trust more than it doubts. That's how obedience builds the foundation for lasting favor. Many people miss divine opportunities because they are waiting for confirmation when they already know what they're supposed to do. The truth is, obedience doesn't always come with explanation. Sometimes the answer is simply go. And when you go, the details unfold along the way. The door that looked locked suddenly opens because obedience carries a spiritual key. It unlocks the next chapter of your journey, one act of surrender at a time. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just need to trust that each step you take in obedience will lead you closer to where you are meant to be. There is also a peace that comes with obedience. Even when everything around you feels uncertain, your heart remains steady because you know you are walking in alignment with divine will. That peace is a sign of favor. It's the assurance that you are protected and guided, even when you can't predict the outcome. When you live in obedience, you no longer have to chase blessings. Blessings start to chase you. Doors open, opportunities align, and favor follows because you are in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time. Obedience is not about perfection. It's about direction. You don't have to get everything right to experience favor. You just have to keep your heart willing. When you make mistakes, correct them quickly. When you sense that inner prompting, act on it. The faster you obey, the faster favor flows. Obedience keeps your spirit sensitive to divine guidance. It keeps you tuned to the quiet whispers that lead to extraordinary outcomes. So if you want to unlock God's favor in your life, as well as stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start acting on what you already know. Move even if it scares you. Trust that obedience will lead you to the doors meant for you. Every time you choose obedience over convenience, you build a bridge toward divine breakthrough. The greatest blessings are not hidden behind prayers alone. They are hidden behind the courage to obey. And when your life becomes a reflection of that obedience, you won't need to search for favor. It will already be walking beside you. Gratitude activates blessings in ways that logic cannot explain. It changes the atmosphere around you and the attitude within you. Gratitude is not just saying thank you when things go right. It is choosing to remain thankful even when life seems uncertain. It is a spiritual posture that turns your attention from what is missing to what is already present. When you learn to give thanks for the little you have, you open the door for more to flow into your life. Gratitude is a magnet for divine favor because it shows that your heart is mature enough to handle abundance without losing humility. Every grateful thought becomes a seed, and every seed of thankfulness grows into a harvest of blessings. Too often, people wait for something big to happen before they express gratitude. They wait for a promotion, a breakthrough, a miracle. But the truth is, gratitude is what invites those moments to arrive. It's the soil where blessings take root. When you wake up and thank God for another day, you are already aligning yourself with His favor. When you look around and appreciate what you have instead of complaining about what you lack, you raise your spiritual vibration. Gratitude tells the universe that you are ready to receive more. Because you know how to value what is already in your hands. The more you appreciate, the more there is to appreciate. Gratitude also changes your perception of problems. When challenges come, instead of asking, why me? A grateful heart says, what is this teaching me? Every obstacle becomes a lesson, every delay a protection, and every hardship a preparation. Gratitude helps you see that even in moments of pain there is purpose. It teaches you to trust the timing of your journey. The moment you start thanking God for what didn't work out, you begin to understand how divine favor operates. It sometimes hides behind disappointment to redirect you towards something better. Gratitude is what helps you recognize that favor, even when it comes disguised as loss. Living with gratitude also transforms your relationships. When you start appreciating people instead of criticizing them. You create an environment of peace and respect. The more gratitude you express toward others, the more kindness flows back to you. Divine favor moves through people, and gratitude keeps those channels open. A thankful person attracts opportunities. Support and love. Because gratitude radiates positivity, it draws people and softens hearts and turns simple encounters into blessings. It teaches you to focus on what's right instead of what's wrong. On what's growing instead of what's broken. There is power in speaking gratitude out loud. When you say, I'm thankful for my life, or I'm grateful even in this storm, something shifts in the atmosphere. Your words carry energy. They reshape your mindset and reframe your situation. Gratitude is not denial. It is declaration. It says, I know things may not be perfect, but I still see the good. And that statement of faith attracts divine movement. Gratitude connects your words, thoughts, and spirit with the energy of abundance. When you live in that vibration, favor becomes your natural environment. Even in seasons of waiting, gratitude keeps your heart peaceful. It reminds you that God is still working even when you can't see the evidence. It silences the voice of anxiety that says you're running out of time. Gratitude tells you that every delay is divine design, every silence has meaning, and every closed door is protection. The moment you stop complaining about what you don't have and start thanking God for what you do, you step into a new dimension of favor. Gratitude transforms waiting into worship. It turns frustration into faith. Some of the greatest blessings in life are invisible at first. They grow quietly in the background while you remain thankful. Gratitude is what keeps you connected to that invisible process. It tells heaven that you can be trusted with more. When you are thankful with little, you show maturity, and God responds by multiplying what you have. Gratitude is the language of abundance. It's the currency of spiritual prosperity. The more you spend it, the richer your life becomes. Even in dark times, gratitude is your light. It reminds you that storms don't last forever and that there's beauty even in brokenness. When you say thank you in the middle of trouble, the power of faith. You shift your focus of faith, you shift your focus from trust, and that shift attracts divine intervention. Gratitude is not passive. It's an active force that opens spiritual doors. It creates an atmosphere where miracles happen naturally. So choose gratitude every day. Choose to see blessings in small details, a breath, a sunrise, a smile. Choose to thank God for what you understand and what you don't. Gratitude doesn't just make life better, it makes you better. It transforms your heart, aligns your spirit, and invites divine favor to dwell permanently in your life. Because when gratitude becomes your way of living, blessings no longer come and go. They stay, multiply, and overflow. Letting go of control is one of the hardest lessons to learn, yet it is the doorway to peace, freedom, and divine favor. Human nature wants to plan everything, fix everything, and predict every outcome. We hold tightly to people timelines and expectations as if our strength alone can shape destiny. But true power begins where control ends. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means surrendering to something greater than yourself. It means acknowledging that while you may not know how everything will work out, you trust that it will. Letting go is an act of faith. A declaration that says, I will no longer fight to make life fit my plan. I will trust the higher plan that's already unfolding. When you stop trying to control every detail, you make space for divine order to move freely in your life. Control creates tension, surrender creates flow. When you cling to your own agenda, you block the unexpected blessings that are meant to surprise you. Many times, favor is waiting just beyond the walls of your comfort zone. But those walls are built from the need to control. Letting go is what breaks them down. It allows life to breathe again, to move, to rearrange, and to align in ways far greater than what you could have managed on your own. There is a deep peace that comes when you stop wrestling with circumstances. You start to realize that some battles are not yours to fight. Some things are not meant to be forced. They are meant to unfold. When you learn to let go, you also learn to trust timing. Not everything delayed is denied. Sometimes God holds things back because your spirit is not yet ready to carry what you're asking for. Letting go means understanding that waiting is not punishment. It's preparation. It's learning to believe that what is meant for you will find you, even if it takes time. Letting go of control also means releasing the need to understand every reason why. There will be moments when life makes no sense. When people leave, opportunities fade or doors close unexpectedly. In those moments, the desire to control can become overwhelming. You want answers, you want clarity. But letting go means accepting that clarity often comes after surrender, not before it. You don't have to know how it will all work out. You just need to keep your heart open enough to receive what's next. Sometimes God removes what you think you need to make room for what you truly need. Control often comes from fear. The fear of losing, of being disappointed, of not being enough. But fear is a liar. And it keeps you chained to what's familiar instead of free to explore what's possible. Letting go is not weakness, it's courage. It takes strength to trust what you cannot see. It takes maturity to say, I release this situation. This person, this plan. Because I believe there's something better ahead. That's the moment when divine favor steps in. The minute you loosen your grip, you allow new opportunities, healing, and peace to flow into your life. There's a freedom in not having to control everything. When you stop worrying about how, you start seeing the beauty of now. You begin to enjoy the present moment without the weight of constant expectation. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop caring what isn't yours. You no longer waste energy trying to fix what only God can fix. You learn to rest in trust, to breathe in faith, and to walk in peace. That's when you realize that control was never the source of your security, trust was. When you let go, you start to notice that life begins to align naturally. The right people appear at the right time. The opportunities you once chased begin to find their way to you. Divine timing replaces anxiety, and patience replaces panic. Letting go brings clarity because you are no longer clouded by the noise of trying to manage everything yourself. It opens the door for favor to flow without resistance. There will be moments when letting go hurts because releasing control sometimes feels like losing a part of yourself. But you're not losing, you're transforming. You're making room for something better, purer, and stronger to take its place. Every time you surrender, you elevate. Every time you release, you rise. And the more you trust, the more peace begins to surround you. Letting go of control is an act of worship. It's saying, I trust the plan even when I can't see the path. It's surrendering not out of defeat, but out of confidence that the Creator knows what He's doing. And when you live in that surrender, you begin to see how everything connects, how every delay was protection, every loss was redirection, and every ending was the start of something new. So breathe deeply and release your grip. You don't have to carry everything or fix everything. You just have to trust that life is working in your favor. The moment you stop forcing outcomes, you'll discover that divine favor has been waiting for your surrender all along. Walking in purpose is where true favor begins to flow. When you discover why you were created and start living in alignment with that purpose, life begins to make sense in a deeper, more peaceful way. Purpose gives direction to your steps. SIT has help headloss POPLE, clarity to your decisions and strength to your heart. It removes confusion because it connects you to divine intention. You stop waking up wondering why you exist, and you start waking up knowing that your life carries meaning. SITS help POLE. Walking in purpose doesn't mean everything becomes easy. It means everything becomes worth it. It's about realizing that every season, every struggle, and every success is part of something much greater than yourself. Too many people drift through life without purpose. They chase success but never find satisfaction. They collect achievements, still feel empty. STS That's because favor doesn't rest on people who simply move. It rests on people who move with meaning. When you walk in purpose, your steps are guided by something higher than ambition. SIT has elpid loss OFOTHRPOPE. You no longer measure your value by what you have, but by who you are becoming. Purpose turns ordinary moments into divine appointments. It makes your life a channel through which grace can flow freely to others. SIT has OTHFERPOPLE. When you're in alignment with your calling, doors open naturally. You don't have to force outcomes because divine favor recognizes where you belong and clears the path ahead of you. Purpose is not something you find once and forget. SIT hash helped loss OFOTAVLE. It's something you grow into. It evolves as you evolve. Every season teaches you a new dimension of it. Sometimes purpose hides behind pain. It's revealed through loss, failure, or even rejection. What breaks you often becomes what shapes you. Walking in purpose requires courage because it means saying yes to growth and no to comfort. It means stepping into the unknown, trusting that what's ahead has meaning even when you can't see it yet. SIT has OTHRPO. Favor follows that kind of courage. The courage to obey when it's uncomfortable, to stand firm when it's lonely, and to keep going when it's hard. When you walk in purpose, you begin to see how everything connects. SIT has PROPEL. The experiences you thought were random start to make sense. The doors that close begin to look like protection. The delays begin to look like preparation. You realize that divine favor was never about luck. It was about alignment. SIT has help love OTHRPOPLE. When your heart, actions, and intentions match what you were created to do, favor becomes the natural outcome. Opportunities, people, and resources start aligning with your path because you are walking where you're meant to walk. You attract what belongs to your purpose because your energy and spirit are in the right position to receive it. Purpose also brings peace. When you know who you are and what you're called to do, comparison loses its power. SIT has You stop competing and start creating. You stop envying others and start celebrating them because you understand that everyone has their own assignment. Walking in purpose allows you to honor your journey without apology. SIT has OTRPOPL. It frees you from the pressure to be like anyone else. Divine favor thrives in authenticity. It blesses those who are genuine, not those who are trying to copy someone else's story. The more you embrace your true calling, the more favor multiplies around you. Living in purpose also means serving something greater than your own interests. Purpose is never selfish. It's about impact, contribution, and legacy. It's using your gifts, your voice, and your time to make life better for others. When you serve from a pure heart, divine favor surrounds your efforts. Even the smallest act done with the right intention carries immense power. The world doesn't need perfection. It needs people walking in purpose, lighting the way with integrity and love. There will be moments when walking in purpose feels lonely. Not everyone will understand the vision you carry, and that's okay. Purpose is personal. It's between you and the one who placed it inside you. Sometimes the path of purpose will take you through wilderness seasons, times when you feel unseen or unappreciated. But those seasons are shaping you. Strengthening you and preparing you for greater influence. Don't let silence fool you. Favor is still working in the background, arranging connections and opportunities that will appear when the time is right. When you walk in purpose, life stops being random and starts becoming intentional. You begin to trust the process, knowing that everything has meaning. Even the detours are divine. Purpose gives your pain context and your victories humility. It makes you unstoppable because you're not just chasing success, you're fulfilling destiny. So keep walking, keep trusting, keep growing into the person you were created to be. The favor you're seeking is not somewhere far away, it's hidden in your purpose. When you align your actions with your calling, favor becomes your companion. It walks beside you, opens doors before you, and surrounds you with peace. You don't have to beg for blessings when you're walking in purpose. Blessings recognize where you belong and meet you there. Living with expectancy is one of the most powerful ways to attract divine favor into your life. SIT has helped las of or peropoli. Expectancy is not wishful thinking. It is the confident belief that something good is on its way. It's a mindset that looks beyond current circumstances and sees possibility where others see limitation. When you live with expectancy, you align your heart with hope instead of fear. You stop saying, maybe things will get better someday, and start saying something great is already unfolding for me right now. Expectancy is faith with vision. It looks forward instead of backward, and it draws blessings towards you because your attitude signals to heaven that you are ready to receive. People often pray for favor but as if nothing good will ever happen. They speak of faith but carry the energy of doubt. Living with expectancy means your words, actions, and thoughts all agree with what you believe. You begin each day with the anticipation that doors will open, opportunities will appear, and things will work out in your favor. This mindset doesn't mean you ignore challenges. It means you refuse to let them define you. Expectancy lifts your spirit above frustration and reminds you that every situation, no matter how difficult, is temporary. When you live expecting good, you see good more clearly. Expectancy also changes how you respond to waiting. Instead of feeling anxious or defeated, you start preparing for what's coming. You organize, plan, and position yourself as if your prayer has already been answered. That's what true faith looks like, acting before you see the evidence. When you live in that state of readiness, divine timing meets you with precision. Opportunities don't just pass by, they recognize your preparation. Living with expectancy turns waiting into a season of alignment rather than frustration. You start realizing that delays are not denials, they are setups for something greater. There's power in the energy you project. When you live expecting disappointment, you unconsciously attract more of it. But when you live expecting blessings, you create an atmosphere where blessings can manifest. Expectancy sharpens your focus. It trains your heart to recognize favor in unexpected places. Sometimes what looks ordinary carries extraordinary potential. You just need the eyes to see it. Living with expectancy opens those eyes. It shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from worry to wonder, from fear to faith. Expectancy also demands that you let go of negativity. You can't expect miracles while feeding on doubt. The mind that constantly entertains fear cannot receive the peace that favor brings. Living with expectancy requires discipline over your thoughts and your words. You begin speaking life even in silence, declaring that what's meant for you will not miss you. You learn to silence the voice that says, nothing ever works out, and replace it with something good is already working for me. Every declaration you make in expectancy plants a seed in the spiritual realm. And in time, those seeds grow into blessings visible to everyone around you. Living with expectancy doesn't mean you won't face struggles. It means you'll handle them differently. Instead of breaking under pressure, you'll remember that pressure produces strength. Instead of giving up during a storm, you'll hold on knowing that storms never last forever. Expectancy gives you endurance. It fills your heart with courage and keeps your faith alive when everything else seems uncertain. It teaches you to see setbacks as setups and disappointments as divine redirections. When you live expecting good, you become unshakable because you know the story isn't over yet. There's also a quiet confidence that comes with expectancy. You stop chasing things desperately because you know that what's meant for you cannot pass you by. You walk with peace, speak with purpose, and move with grace because you trust the outcome. Divine favor follows that kind of confidence. It recognizes a spirit that is calm, grounded, and certain of its worth. Expectancy says, I may not see it yet, but I already know it's on its way. That belief draws the right opportunities, relationships, and resources closer to you. Living with expectancy transforms your atmosphere. Your presence begins to carry hope. People around you feel uplifted because your energy radiates faith and joy. Expectancy doesn't just change your life, it influences everyone connected to you. It turns your home, your work, and your relationship to places where peace and progress thrive. Favor flows freely in that kind of environment because expectancy keeps the door of the heart open wide. So keep your spirit awake with anticipation. Expect blessings even in the middle of uncertainty. Expect answers even in the silence. Expect favor even in the ordinary moments. Life responds to your expectations more than your wishes. The more you expect goodness, the more it reveals itself to you. Live each day as if something wonderful is about to happen, and watch how divine favor rushes to meet your faith. Because what you expect, you attract. And when your heart beats with expectancy, favor doesn't have to find you. It's already walking beside you